Okay, so let's just jump right in. We are surrounded constantly by messages. And I'm not just talking about words on a page. They're in the colors we see, the clothes we put on, the stories we tell each other. Today, we're going to learn how to read all of it. Welcome to the Codebook of Culture. All right, think about this for a second. You're in your car, you're driving, and you see this, a red light.
And you just, right, without even thinking about it, your foot hits the brake. It's an automatic response. A simple command, stop, just baked into a color.
Okay, now let's take that exact same color, red, but we're going to change the context. It's not a light anymore. Now it's a flag.
And all of a sudden, the meaning just flips. It's not stop anymore. Now it means danger or warning or watch out. It's the same color, but a totally different message. So this brings us to the big question. It seems so simple, but it's actually kind of profound. How do we all just agree on this stuff? How do we know a red light means stop and a red flag means danger? Where does that shared understanding even come from?
Well, the answer is in the world of signs. And as you're about to see, they are absolutely positively everywhere.
And the field that studies all these signs and their meanings? That's called semiotics. You can seriously think of it as the ultimate decoder ring for culture. It's the tool that helps us understand how we create meaning out of, well, pretty much everything.
So to use this decoder ring, we've got to start with the basic building block we're trying to figure out, the sign itself.
At its core, the concept is so simple it's almost elegant. A sign is just a relationship where one thing, let's call it X, stands for something else, Y. X can be anything, a word, an image, a sound. Y is the idea it represents. The red light is X, the idea of stop is Y. It's one of the most fundamental ways we make sense of the world. But okay, it gets even cooler. Semiotics actually breaks signs down into three main types. First up, you've got the icon. This one's the most straightforward. The sign actually looks like the thing it represents. You know the little trash can icon on your computer desktop? It looks like a trash can. A photograph is an icon of the person in it. Super simple. Then there's the index. Here there's a direct connection, like a cause and effect link. A pointing finger indicates a direction. Smoke is an index of fire because fire causes smoke. A footprint in the sand is an index that someone was there. And finally, we get to the most powerful one of all, the symbol. This is where the magic happens. With a symbol, the connection between X and Y is purely based on agreement, on convention. I mean, think about it. There is nothing naturally stoppy about the color red, right? We, as a culture, just decided that's what it means. The letters of the alphabet are perfect symbols. We all just agreed this shape, A, makes this sound. Okay, let's keep going, because once you understand symbols, you can start to see all these hidden codes that are structuring our entire culture. And this right here is a perfect way to think about it. The shirt and pants you have on, those are just objects. That's clothing. But dress, now that's the code. Dress is the whole system of meaning that tells us a business suit means professional, a uniform means authority, and a ripped band t-shirt means rebellion. The clothes are just the X. The cultural code of dress is what gives us the Y. And check out this example. It really shows you just how deep these cultural codes can run. For many of us, weeping is a pretty clear sign, an index of sadness. But for the Andaman Islanders, it's a symbol. It's a shared ritual they do to strengthen their social bonds, after being apart for a long time, or to make peace. The physical act is exactly the same, tears, but the cultural code completely rewrites what it means. So we've looked at objects, and we've looked at actions. Now let's scale up. Let's talk about one of the most complex sign systems we have, stories. I love this quote from Willa Cather because it gets at something so true. The stories we tell, whether they're in books or movies or myths, they aren't just a random series of events. They follow patterns. The stories themselves are these giant, complex signs, repeating these universal ideas about what it means to be human. And the way we pull meaning out of these big stories is through subtext. Think of it like this. The story itself, the plot, the characters, the dialogue, that's the main text. That's our X. The subtext is the hidden Y. It's the deeper message, the theme, the thing the story is really about, even if nobody comes right out and says it. Let's use a classic example that you might know, the film Blade Runner. So on the surface, it's a gritty sci-fi detective story, right? A cop named Deckard is hunting down these rogue androids called replicants.
The obvious, explicit question the movie asks is, what's the real difference between a person and a machine that's just like a person?
But if you start looking for the subtext, a whole other layer opens up. You realize the replicants aren't just runaway machines, they're on a quest. They want to meet their maker, to ask him why he created them only to let them die. So the whole story, the whole sci-fi adventure, suddenly becomes a religious allegory. It's a search for a creator, a search for the meaning of life, and it's full of all these biblical symbols and themes. The story, X, stands for a much, much bigger idea why.
So we've gone from traffic lights all the way to classic sci-fi films. So what? What does this all mean for you? Well, this is where you get your new superpower.
This analogy is just perfect. Think of culture as the default software running on your computer. It's the program humming away in the background, telling you what things mean, what's normal, what's good, what's bad.
But here is the really empowering part. We are not just users running some program we can't do anything about. We're also the programmers. The moment you realize that all this meaning is built on symbols and agreements, you realize it's not set in stone. It's not inevitable. We have the ability to question it, to reinterpret it, and yeah, even to rewrite the code.
And really, that's the ultimate takeaway. Semiotics doesn't just show you how the world is put together. It gives you the tools to help put it together differently. It makes you aware of this invisible architecture of meaning that's all around us. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. Now that you can see the code, what will you rewrite?